stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network. This is Big Red Football.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Protect yourself. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. That's right, you can save time and get your COVID-19 and flu shot at the same time. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today. Or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
Welcome back to the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Matt Coatney, and this is the Big Ten Blitz, presented by Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers.
This is the Big Ten Blitz, Iowa.
Here to talk about the Hawkeyes, Scott Docterman of The Athletic. Iowa with an impressive bounce-back win after the loss at Ohio State. 40-16 over Washington. 40 points, Scott. This offense seems to be finding a little bit of rhythm under first-year coordinator Lester.
Yeah, there's a lot I like about this offense right now. I think the running game is really operating at a high level. This is the fifth time in 6 games they've hit 200 yards on the ground, and the passing game's still got a long way to go, but they do have some athletes, I would say, at wide receiver, and they were efficient in the air. They only had a little over 100 yards, but you didn't need more than 100 yards with the way they were running the football. So this offense isn't necessarily great, but it's a major improvement of what it was the last couple of years.
Washington ended up with 16 points, but they had some really nice long drives. They had a field goal block that stopped one of them. Iowa doesn't seem to be quite as sharp defensively as they've been in the past. Is that fair to say through 6 games?
Yeah, it's not as dominant, I would say. That's true. One of the things it's kind of built as is it's always been built as bend but don't break, but they've just been so strong the last few years that mantra hasn't really applied to them. But a lot of times it's once they get into the red zone, they find a way to shut the door, and that's kind of what happened there. They had a blocked field goal, they had an interception, and then Iowa turned the tables on them. And then once they got behind, they started trying to pass against that defense, and that's where the real problems begin for a lot of teams.
Scott, you look at it, I know there's 2 losses in the column right now for the Hawks, both the top 10 teams. The way Iowa State is playing, and Ohio State is obviously going to end up in there, this schedule sets up that it could be a pretty nice run to the finish line. Do you think that's how folks in Iowa City are looking at this?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this team is it's ascending right now. You could kind of feel it and you can see it. I mean, they had their best game as an offensive line the other day. The passing game was efficient. The running game is at a high level with Caleb Johnson. And the defense is getting better. And I would say based on the schedule, they have probably the easiest schedule of all the teams that are in the upper echelon, not only in the Big Ten, but around the country. I think they've got a chance to go on a really nice run and have a potential to meet that 10-win marker again for the 4th time in 6 years.
All right, and again, that would be a hard team to not put in the playoff if Iowa gets to a 10-win season. Let's start with the one that's next. That's Michigan State. Prime time tonight. What do you make of this matchup?
Michigan State's got a lot of talent, but wow, they lost a lot of players. I mean, I think it's like 47 in the portal. They've got some new ones that are in. I think Aiden Childs is a terrific young quarterback, but very erratic and inconsistent. And the problem for Michigan State is that they're bad in the areas that Iowa really exploits. I mean, they're one of the worst teams when it comes to penalties, red zone offense, and turnover margin. And Iowa does a really good job of turning those problems around on teams. And then also they don't run the ball very effectively, and they're not really scoring a lot of points, just averaging less than 20 points a game. So all of that just really is a recipe for disaster against an Iowa team that exploits a lot of those mistakes and now can control the football with the way it runs.
Iowa and Michigan State, prime time on NBC, 6:30 Central Time. Scott Docterman of The Athletic. As always, Scott, we appreciate the insight.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Northwestern.
Here to talk about the Wildcats, Louis Vicaire of the Wildcat Report. What an impressive road win last Friday night for the Cats at Maryland, 37-10. I got to believe, Louis, that the coaching staff loved what they saw. That was a pretty complete performance. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's what David Braun talked about after the game and again on Monday, is that they put together all 3 phases. You know, their defense has been playing good for most of the year. The offense has come on the last couple weeks. They got a really good game on special teams. You know, they had Luke Akers that handled kicking, place kicking, and punting on Saturday, and they converted everything there. They got a fumble. They created 4 turnovers, so it was a total team effort, and it resulted in a 27-point win for Northwestern. Those don't happen too often, especially in Big Ten play. So it was definitely a confidence-boosting win for them.
Okay, let's spin to this week, Wisconsin, and they seem to have kind of found their footing a little bit. They visit Evanston for this game in a series that you were telling me beforehand that really has been remarkably close over the past 35 or so years. Size this matchup up for us.
Yeah, since 1985, I think it's Wisconsin has won 17 and Northwestern 16. So it's been a flip of the coin. And I know a lot of the time, almost all the time, Northwestern is the underdog. But especially in Evanston, they seem to have Wisconsin's number. I think, the offense is going to have to be a little more consistent. That's the one thing that I think scared me a little bit about that win at Maryland is, they got the turnovers and everything, but offense, I think they had less than 300 yards of total offense. They had like 5 3-and-outs, so they kind of lost their way in the middle of that game, and I'd like to see them run the ball a little bit better to kind of, move the chains and keep the time of possession and things like that. So I think this is going to be a big test for them. It's going to be a physical game. Wisconsin, like you said, the last 2 games, I think they've outscored their opponents 94-13, if my math is correct. So they seem to have found their groove, too. So I think this is going to be a a pretty tight, old-fashioned, physical Big Ten type of game.
Should be a fun one. 11 o'clock Central, kick on BTN as the Cats host the Badgers. Louis Vaquera, the Wildcat Report. Louis, great stuff as always. We look forward to chatting with you again down the road.
Thanks. Always a pleasure to be on.
Illinois.
And here to talk about the Illini, Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Illinois played a doubleheader last week, Steve. You played a first half, and then you played a second half. They were completely different. I know probably at the end it's a win, but what a bizarre game. What did you make of that thing?
It really was. They had Purdue down 27-3 early in the second half, and Purdue ended up scoring 46 points after halftime. That included the 6 they scored in overtime. Illinois got out with a 50-49 victory over Purdue, and I think Brett Bielema going into it would love to put up 50 points on one of his old coaches, but he didn't want to give up 49. So the bottom line is they got out with a win, and now they take on number 24 Michigan. Illinois rated 22nd this week.
They got the win, and they got the cannon back, right? It's been a while since they had that trophy.
Yeah, it's been 4 straight years, and 7 out of 8, and 8 out of 10, and 15 out of 20. Purdue just had some kind of a number on Illinois over the recent history, yet with that win, Illinois narrowed the all-time series. That was the 100th meeting, by the way, last week, and Purdue's got a 2-game edge. So it's been up and down and kind of streaky, but Purdue's been the team that's been on the streak of late.
Well, at least the cannon is in the Illinois trophy case for the next 12 months. Steve, we were so impressed with Luke Altmaier when he came to Lincoln and the Illinois team came out with an overtime win. I got to imagine the coaches, the team are really thrilled with what they are seeing from the Illinois quarterback right now.
Well, he's completing 68% of his passes. He's got 1,426 yards, 14 touchdown passes, and only 1 interception. That's the big number there, Greg. Just 1 interception. And he's controlling the offense. He steps up when he needs to. He's got a pretty good group of receivers. The Illinois running game is still suspect in my mind, but and their ability to stop people still is something that has to be addressed. But Luke Altmaier certainly is playing like an all-Big Ten quarterback. I don't know if he'll get that first team honor or not. There's some other good ones, but he certainly would be in consideration.
Well, you came out on one end in Lincoln, and then you were able to get Purdue last week. Maybe you kind of want to keep those overtime trends going, but Michigan, they seem a little wounded, Steve. They're having issues at quarterback. They're not nearly the team they were a year ago that won the national championship. I think this is a fascinating matchup between these two teams. I got to imagine the Illinois fan base is fired up for this one today.
Oh, they really are, and they're fired up that Michigan's favored by 3, but, I don't know how that works, but the odds makers are seeing something. Caden Fagan, by the way, Illinois' leading rusher, will not play for a second straight week. He sustained a hip injury, I believe it was, an upper leg injury at least, and he was out for Purdue and not likely to play here. So maybe that's part of the Vegas line there. But whatever, it's pretty much a toss-up game. And Michigan runs the ball pretty well. They stop the run pretty well. They have given up some passing yardage, so maybe that's where Illinois is going to need to attack the Michigan defense.
Should be a good one. Michigan at Illinois, 2:30 p.m. Central on CBS. Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Steve, we appreciate it. Enjoy the game.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you.
Cornerstone Bank is committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Well, what a beautiful day in Bloomington, Indiana. It's 61 degrees right now at 11:14 Eastern Time, and Nebraska has come out in all-white uniforms. Beautiful white helmets with the block red end, white shirts, and white pants. And the Hoosiers are going to be wearing the red tops with the white pants so you can tell them apart. And that's what they have going on today. The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, and that's the Big Ten Blitz, and that will wrap up the countdown to kickoff show. The Matt Rule pregame show comes your way next.
The Matt Rule pregame show is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative, helping Husker student athletes navigate name, image, and likeness. To learn more or to donate, visit 1890nebraska.com. Also brought to you by LNK, the official airport of the Huskers.
Good morning from Bloomington. Today, the Cornhuskers continue Big Ten play after the bye week against the Indiana Hoosiers. How did the bye week go? Were you satisfied with things that were accomplished in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been great. A great time for us to improve as a team, get some guys healthy, and be ready to play today.
Did it come at a good time or not? You win a game, sometimes you don't want to step away when you win, but it is kind of the midway point of the season.
No, I think it came at a perfect time. You know, we've had some emotional games. We've had one short week. We've had a bunch of night games, which kind of cuts down on your recovery the next day. I think you can see, I thought this week we saw a real tangible pep in their step, just kind of coming off the bye and ready to go.
The Rutgers game, you nailed it. You thought it would be a rough, tough, kind of a knuckle fight game. It was exactly that. To win a game like that has to do a lot for this team and really for the program, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there were some narratives around us, can't win a close game, et cetera. I think we've done that a couple times. But more importantly, to be out there with a physical team like them and be just as physical, I thought it shows that our guys understood that preparation leads to performance, and they put it in and they were able to get it out.
One of the takeaways from that game from people in their memory will be that goal line stand. You've not given up a rushing touchdown this year, knock on wood, but you're halfway through this thing. That's really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think we played good defense and certainly good run defense. The guys have a lot of pride. Tony does a great job down there. And, we made them throw in that goal line stand, and we were able to stop them, which, going back to Illinois, they couldn't run it in, but they were able to throw it in. And we had better eyes. We improved as a defense, and proud of the guys for the work they've done. And, we're going to have to do it versus Indiana, who's very balanced and excellent in the red zone.
Folks, once you plant Pioneer brand Z-Series soybeans in your field, harvest will never be the same. Enter a new era of performance at pioneer.com/unleash greatness. More with the coach coming up next.
This is the Matt Rule pregame show, brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. You're listening to Big Red Football.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Plungers and store-bought chemicals can only go so far and can harm your drains. Call the professionals at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical to get your drains flowing. We won't only make sure the clog is taken care of, but we will ensure your drains are completely clean so the clog will not come back. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating,
and Electrical.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense.
It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Hey Husker fans, Coach Rule here, thanking you for your incredible support of Nebraska football. We're working every day to bring championship football back to Nebraska. Just as important is your contribution to 1890 Nebraska, the official NIL collective of Husker Athletics. Every contribution, no matter how small, makes a big impact. Your support helps us recruit and retain top talent, bringing a winning program that can compete at the highest level. Visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEBNIL to 801-801 now.
Nothing goes better with Husker Sports in Fairbury. Fairbury premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. Fairbury, the official hot dog of Husker Nation. Today it's a battle of nationally ranked teams. Nebraska on the road to take on the Indiana Hoosiers in Bloomington. I'm not sure many people would have expected Indiana to be an undefeated team and a ranked team at this time. Coach, that's what you've kind of said all offseason. It's hard to project what these teams will be like because of the roster turnover now in college football.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job, and this is what college football is going to be like moving forward. Great teams can have their rosters rated. Teams that have struggled can bring in a new coach who brings a team with them, or can hit the portal and get some guys. So you never really know who you're playing against. And all the preseason hype and rankings, I mean, you really don't know till about this time of year. And even now, some teams have played really hard schedules, some teams haven't. I've always said, November and December, they determine who you are. And so we've worked hard to get to this point. Hopefully, we're a better football team than we were before. And this will be an unbelievable test for us to face an undefeated team, a top 20 team, and see where we are.
Indiana has openly admitted they have not played a great schedule at this point, but they're putting up eye-popping numbers. Tony White said we really haven't seen an offense kind of this diversified. What makes them so good on that side of the ball?
Well, I think you have to start with the quarterback. I mean, he makes the right decisions. They run an RPOU. He throws the ball in the middle of the field as well as anybody I've been around. Most guys can only throw the ball outside, but he can attack the middle of the field. They've got a bunch of receivers who are excellent players. They've got a great receiver who came with them from James Madison. The offensive line is really, really well coached. They play together. They've got a good run game. Average over 200 yards a game rushing. So, we have a good defense, and this will be quite a test. We've seen some dynamic athletes from Colorado and great run games from some other people. These guys have put it all together, so it'll be a great chance for us to see where we are.
He brought 13 players from James Madison, a winning program. Is that important to bring winners with you?
Yeah, I always feel like winning teams know how to win. It's the hardest thing you do is learning how to win. When you've won like they won at James Madison, it means you have great habits, it means you have great standards, expectations, and so. They brought that there, and their culture, they instilled. They didn't have to teach it, they instilled it. And that's a credit to him and what he built at James Madison and what he's now building there.
Valley Irrigation helps you farm smarter with the most reliable center pivots and advanced remote technology. Maximize profits and enjoy more time for what matters, including Husker football. Learn more at valleyirrigation.com. Some final thoughts from the coach coming up next.
On the Huskers Radio Network.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Attention, Husker Nation. Are you ready to power up your game? Sapp Brothers bleeds Husker Red, and our high-quality off-road red diesel is the fuel that powers your equipment. As official sponsors of the Huskers, we're here with a touchdown offer with the Sapp Brothers Go Big Red Fuel Giveaway. Contract your upcoming fuel needs by February 1st and enter to win 1,000 free gallons of our off-road red diesel. Keep your engines roaring and your equipment running strong. With this winning opportunity, Sapp Brothers fuels Husker Nation. Visit sappbros.net/fuel giveaway for more info.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
This is Big Red Football.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Husker Football brought to you in part by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com for all your truck, SUV, and electric vehicle needs. We talked about Indiana's offense in the last segment. Their defense, I love their middle linebacker. He's another JMU guy, Aiden Fisher, gets all over the ball. But what about them defensively? What stands out when you watch tape?
Well, they have a dominant pass rush. They have two edge rushers who can get home. They have a tremendous three technique with a lot of moves, explosiveness. So I think they know they're going to score, so they can play a kind of an aggressive pass rushing style, stop the run on the way to the pass, try to affect the other team's quarterback, and so that to me that's the main challenge with the way that they play.
They have given up some yards, but somebody pointed out to me today in the Maryland game, they turned the ball over a couple times offensively, and the defense held them every time. That's a good trade. There's that complementary football that they're getting done. All right, keys in your eyes for this one today to go get a road win against a quality team. What is that?
Well, I think we have to limit their quarterback. Everything goes through him, and so, we have to play really well in the passing game. I feel good about, they'll run the football, and they're a running team, but you can't give up the explosive play. You can't let them extend third downs. We have to play well versus him. I think offensively we're going to have to establish the run. We're going to have to run the football versus these pass rushers and keep them off balance. And then special teams wise, we're always going to try to steal a possession, and we just can't have the catastrophic play we've had the last 2 weeks. If we can just play clean on special teams and hopefully find a way to steal a possession, whether that's a big play by blocking a kick or truly stealing one, I think that gives us a great opportunity.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
This week's contestant from the Woodhouse block punt for a touchdown contest is Ben Plotchek of Omaha. Remember, the Huskers block a punt, return it for a touchdown. Ben could win a 2-year, 10,000-mile-per-year lease on a truck from Woodhouse. Go to huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to get yourself entered. Well, from the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres has solutions for every field. We'll go from the Acres broadcast booth to the Lotto Company's broadcast booth. Coming up next, more pregame straight ahead.
On the Huskers Radio Network.
When challenging conditions arise, we don't back down. We up our game. Outpacing the competition with innovations fueled by Bayer's R&D, keeping you equipped with an expanded portfolio, elite genetics, and additional local test plots. Channel leads the field, so you can rise above. See how at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Hey, Husker fans! The 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Nebraska football games or to any other live event in Lincoln, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the go-to option for the Huskers. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center. Let's take a look at the Big Ten scoreboard. Last night, Dylan Gabriel threw 2 scoring passes, and number 2 Oregon blew out Purdue 35-0. Today at 11 a.m. Central, Wisconsin at Northwestern, UCLA at Rutgers, 2:30 p.m. It'll be number 24 Michigan at number 22 Illinois, 3 p.m. USC at Maryland, and 6:30 p.m. Iowa at Michigan State. I'm Matt Coatney in the Acres Broadcast Center in Lincoln. Get ready, Nebraska. 2 ranked teams in a big-time Big Ten matchup. Greg Sharp, Damon Benning, and Jessica Cootie are ready to go.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Huskers Radio Network. It's time for Nebraska Cornhuskers football.
Rogers deep for Nebraska. Here's Wiley's kick. It's high. It holds up there. Rogers takes the ball at the 30. He's hit and got away. Back upfield to the 35, to the 40. He's to the 45. He's to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 20, to the 10. He's all the way home. Rozier turns. He's running back around the field. He's trying to get away. He's looking for blockers. He turns upfield. He's going to run a touchdown. In the back play, and it's Schlesinger inside the 5. He's there for the touchdown. He's got the touchdown.
And an option to the right. Tommy on the keep, turns the corner, 25-30. Eludes a tackler, 35. Tommy Frazier, 37, 38, 39, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's going to cross to the middle. Juggle. Diving touchdown, Nebraska. Davison under the deflection.
Thunder, who gives it back to Mike Stokes. He's going to throw it. He's got a man out there. 40. It is Eric Crouch. 15, 10, 5.
The kick is get that way. The kick is good.
40, Roy to midfield. Roy Heller to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. You betcha. That is a touchdown for Nebraska.
Back to Burkett off the left side.
Rex has a seam. 15, 10. Burkett 5. Dives. He's in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have come all the
throw down toward the goal line going up. Ball tipped in the air.
Touchdown. Jordan Westerkamp. Nebraska wins the game on the final play of the contest. Oh, baby.
Brought to you locally by
After a bye week, the Nebraska Cornhuskers have ventured into central Indiana for a nationally ranked duel with the Indiana Hoosiers. Good morning, I'm Greg Sharp, ready for a game that was not on any radar 3 months ago. It's one of the biggest games of the day here in college football. Indiana, under first-year head coach Kurt Scunetti, have been the talk of college football for now several weeks. They're ranked 16th in the latest Associated Press poll, and they are already bowl eligible. They're one of the last 3 undefeated teams left in the Big Ten at the midway point. They have assembled one of the highest scoring offenses in college football with the help of the transfer portal. This is rarefied air for IU football. We had not had a man walk on the moon the last time Indiana was off to this kind of a start. The Huskers are also off to their best start in nearly a decade. The Big Red have rallied and relied on a stout defense, which sets up the intriguing matchup today between the Black Shirts and the high-powered Hoosier offense. But Nebraska will also need to get their offense jump-started. Only 14 points in their last outing against Rutgers on an extremely windy day in Lincoln. Plenty of national attention on this game. A great opportunity for the Big Red to continue their climb back to relevance. So many storylines with this one, and no one better to break things down for us than former national champion Damon Benning. And we will collect his thoughts coming up next from Bloomington.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Pioneer Brand Z Series soybeans have farmers yielding out an additional 2.7 bushels per acre over A Series. This has everyone talking, not just farmers. Case in point, a trucking company wrote, "Morning, noon, and night, it doesn't matter. I'm hauling Z Series. The phone doesn't stop ringing. Even my home number, it never stops ringing." Well, it's fair to say Pioneer Brand Z Series soybeans are making quite an impact. Unleash your greatest harvest yet at pioneer.com/greatest yields.
Husker fans, Visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
From coin flip to final whistle, show your die-hard passion for your Nebraska Cornhuskers all season long with your favorite red and white gear from Shields. Bring your best this year, whether you're cheering from Memorial Stadium or from your living room with your favorite jerseys, hats, collectibles, and Husker-branded gear from the Shields Fan Shop. Visit us at your local Shields or Shields.com, and let's cheer on the Huskers. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Imagine a world where your office IT runs smoothly, securely, and effortlessly. A day where you aren't worried about the next outage or password compromise. At Hamilton, we take care of everything from monitoring and maintenance to security and support. We partner with your business to design integrated technology solutions that fit your needs now and your goals for the future. With on-site and remote IT support options, we're always just a call or click away. Elevate your IT with Hamilton Managed IT. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Nebraska companies know that treating people like family is good business. At Medica, protecting families is our specialty. We care for your employees by offering affordable health plans with the benefits they need and the local doctors they trust. And we treat everyone on your team as a person, not a number. After all, that's how you do business too. With Medica, you're not just covered, you're cared for. Find out more at medica.com.
In the game of life, we all face tough moments. Sometimes it feels like we're up against a formidable defense with no way through. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Don't wait for the final whistle. Reach out, speak up, and let's tackle this together. Because in Nebraska, we're more than a team. We're family. Remember, in times of need, call, text, or chat 988. Presented by Nebraska DHHS.
This is Big Red Football.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Hi, it's Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald.
And I'm Amy Just from the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, listen, HuskerExtra.com and the Husker Extra mobile app have the best coverage of Nebraska sports.
Our reporting team shares features and analysis of all Husker sports, along with the latest recruiting news and more.
Plus, Husker Extra subscribers have access to our exclusive podcast, The Showdown, where we share our latest insights and expectations.
Go to HuskerExtra.com or search Husker Extra in your app store.
Download and subscribe today.
Hey, Husker fans, Coach Wool here, thanking you for your incredible support of Nebraska football. We're working every day to bring championship football back to Nebraska. Just as important is your contribution to 1890 Nebraska, the official NIL collective of Husker Athletics. Every contribution, no matter how small, makes a big impact. Your support helps us recruit and retain top talent, bringing a winning program that can compete at the highest level. Visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEBNIL to 801-801 now.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Your attention, please. The Nebraska Lottery has given $1 billion with a B dollars back to our state since 1993. The money has gone to protect the environment, improve education, and maintain the state fair. It's all part of helping build a better Nebraska. Welcome back. Huskers and Hoosiers today in a giant Big Ten matchup. Nobody would have said that over the summer. That's a credit to Matt Rhule, Nebraska, and Kurt Cignetti at Indiana that they've made their teams relevant as we pass the midway poll of this season. DB, great to be back with you. Hope you enjoyed the bye week. Did you get your batteries recharged? DB, you with us?
Oh, there you are. I couldn't hear you. That was interesting right there, but I think I'm going through it okay. You get me all right now?
You sound good. How was your bye week?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, we got to focus in on a lot of Hoosier talk, so what could be better as we get ready to go through this one?
Well, the Huskers use, I know, the opportunity to kind of clean some things up, self-scout, do those type of things. Bye weeks can be beneficial there. How do you think Matt Rhule and the staff attacked the last 10 days?
Well, I like it. It was pretty three-pronged. They went through probably what they do really well and how do they do more of it, what they don't do well and do less of it, and then what they don't do very well that they were doing too much of. So I really like the three-prong approach, and I think they're pretty dialed in. The cool thing about this one is, Sharpie, is Indiana kind of does what they do. They're very balanced, offense, defense, and even within that balance, whether it's receivers 1 through 4, they can all get you. The running backs look the same, but there is definitely a style to the way that they like to play offensively and defensively. So I think that's a good thing for Nebraska.
Tommy Hill, I think, could be a key. We're going to get down to Jess here in a minute to get an update on him, but it would be good to get your best cover guy back in this matchup because they love to spread it around the field.
Yeah, it gives them a lot of versatility, too, so they can't really pick on or play matchups because you can be good across the board. I think Nebraska will be multiple in what they show and multiple in what they do, and the more healthy, good players you have on the field, the more apt you're to be able to pull that off.
All right, let's talk about Dylan Raiola. I think the wind, DB, messed with him a little bit in that Rutgers game. We played that thing in a hairdryer 2 weeks ago. But I think he's mature enough to kind of let that roll off his back, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And he looked at it as a room for growth, right? He's highly competitive and he's super smart. So when you have two of those attributes and you're coming off a performance in which he didn't feel great about, you just get back in the lab. And I think that's what he did. And I think he'll utilize that and play to his strengths. He already was trending in the right direction. There's nothing wrong with a little speed bumps, right? It doesn't mean you have to turn around and go back the other way. It just means you proceed with caution but keep on moving in the right direction.
DB, I've had a lot of questions the last couple of weeks about Nebraska's ground game, trying to run the football more. Are you concerned about that, or is just the offense is what it is, and you've got a great quarterback, you want to utilize his arm?
Well, I mean, if I didn't see things like, Oregon go for 133 last night against Purdue, I maybe would be a little more concerned. It is very difficult to run the football sometimes with that quarterback run game, and Nebraska's evolving into how they want to move the football. Would you like to be a little more efficient on your yards per carry? Sure. But you got to give yourself a chance, Sharpie, and start with the commitment to it. As long as they're toting it and they're willing to tote it, I think the numbers will pay dividends.
DB in the Noto Company's broadcast booth. Jessica Cootie down on our Rob Seacoast sidelines. Oscar's about ready to wrap up warm-ups. You've been watching this group. Anything catch your eye, Jess?
Yeah, a couple things. First, let's start with the crowd. We talked about how hyped this Indiana fan base was for this and the feeling around this program right now. But it's a late arriving crowd. The student section filled in pretty quickly, pretty early, but there's still lots of empty spaces in the stadium. Seeing quite a bit of Husker fans. You asked me about that earlier, but seeing quite a few Nebraska fans. But I was told that the Big Noon kickoff set had a ton of fans out there, so they might be just now trickling in following that game day show. But in terms of warm-ups, watching Tommy Hill, he's good to go. He was right out there with the ones during team warm-ups that they're going through right now. But I'm not comfortable yet saying that he's good to go until we see him run out there for a play, because the last couple of games he's looked good in warm-ups, but then we didn't see him out there. So we'll see. Hopefully he's really good to go and can provide some snaps for this team here today. That Oklahoma drill we talked about, they did do it again today. Saw a great battle between Mekhi Bayer and Thomas Fidone. Really got this team fired up. And then Micah Mazuka, you told me to keep an eye out on him. And a little bit interesting here, the last couple of games, when he's warmed up behind Henry Lutoski. Today he was warming up at tackle behind Gunnar Gatula. So it looks like if he's needed there, Micah Mazuka might be called on there to back up at tackle. Now, Dylan Raiola, you talked about him and just his bounce-back performance against Rutgers. He was out here early, loose, having fun. You can tell he is ready for this one. He got some extra work in with Thomas Fidone, but he was enjoying it. You can tell he's ready to go and excited to be out here today. And how about those all-white uniforms, Greg? First time since 2016.
Wow. 2016 was a good year. Hopefully it laid some more of that. Thanks, Jess. We're going to check back with you again before we kick this one off today. Both teams retreating to the locker room. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, Jess is going to join Joel Klatt, who's the lead analyst for Fox. They've got the television broadcast today, one of the marvelous TV partners of the Big Ten Conference. We'll have that, give you some starting lineups as we continue pregame chatter. Huskers and Hoosiers today in Bloomington.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Nebraska Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Huskers farmers do it all. That's why at Ag Leader, we're devoted to making your life easier every day, through every season, with our easy-to-use precision farming technology that can do it all alongside you. From planting and spraying to steering and harvesting and more. Do it all on your farm with Ag Leader. Contact your local Ag Leader dealer or visit agleader.com to upgrade your farm equipment with proven precision farming technology from Ag Leader.
There's only a few minutes left before Mom gets home and Dad needs a win.
He's had a long day, Mac.
He certainly has. Will this All-Star deliver dinner on time, or will Takeout take the title?
Oh, look. He's changing up formation. What's he up to?
There's a snap. He's heading to the fridge. Something's happening.
He's going for it. I can't believe it.
Dad's got a bottle of Dorothy Lynch, and he's done it. The chicken, the salad, the veggies. He could go all the way.
Incredible flavor. Unbelievably easy. That's how you win with Dorothy Lynch.
This is Big Red Football.
The polar bear. Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker knows who to call when your house is cold enough for hibernation.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hutmaker here. People know me as the polar bear. Don't be like me in the winter and call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition. Guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty. Best warranty in town.
SOS to the rescue!
402-391-2336.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir. Toyota trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentor.
We're recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Greg Schreiber back with you. Huskers and Hoosiers getting ready for a Big Ten matchup today. Battle of ranked teams between the Scarlet and Cream and the Cream and Crimson of Indiana and Nebraska. Well, the Big Ten certainly has some great television partners. One of those being Fox Sports. Their lead analyst in college football is Joel Klatt. Jessica standing by with one of our favorites, Joel Klatt.
Thanks, Greg. Here with Joel Klatt will be on the call today with Gus Johnson. Well, it's about time you guys had a Nebraska game.
I know. I've been excited to see this team specifically. I've been high on what Matt has been doing here, and obviously since he got here, but more specifically this season. Even all summer, I was pointing to this team as a team that I thought could surprise a lot of people. That's what they've done. In a lot of ways, they really should be undefeated, in large part because they don't turn the ball over, which was a huge issue last year. So defense is still playing really well. And like I said, I have been circling this one for a long time because I wanted to get here. And now bonus, like Indiana is also great. So this is a fun one.
You've been a big proponent of Coach Roll since the beginning. What is it about him that you believed he was the right guy and he could turn this thing around here?
He's done it before. There's just... This sport is so difficult, and to build a program, even if it's got a storied history, is very difficult. And he's done it 2 different times. I would argue that what he did at Baylor could probably go down as one of the great coaching jobs in history with what happened at Baylor right before he got there. And then I also knew the support he would get. Like, remember, folks, if you're listening to this, like, you've seen me play in Lincoln. I know what's there and how passionately you all support this program. And so when you combine Matt's history, knowing what he does, with the support that I know is in Lincoln, I just felt like there's always a chance it doesn't work, but it was just a combination that I felt like was too good.
All right, the Huskers quarterback, true freshman, Dylan Raiola. What have you liked from what you've seen from him so far this season?
Well, so first of all, is he's corrected the turnover issues at the quarterback position. I believe there was 24 or 25 quarterback turnovers last year. That's a staggering amount. And now the whole team has only turned the ball over 4 times. So that's why you're 5-1. So it wasn't that he needed to be great. He just needed to be better than what you had a year ago. And that's not a personal shot. It's just like taking care of the football. But then he's gone even further than that, and he's a threat as a passer. I love his instincts. He is a passer of the football, not a thrower of the football, which a lot of young, talented guys, they have a great fastball, but they don't know how to change speeds. He does that really well. So there's a lot of things I really like about what he does. And then I can tell when you watch the tape, he just injects a level of confidence into the entire team that I think is pretty infectious. And so, again, I'm excited. I was actually with his dad for one training camp with Detroit, and I can remember Dom was an awesome dude, even to us rookies. He was a great dude, so I've been texting with him all week, and he's obviously very excited for what's going on.
Last thing I got for you, just what are you looking for in this matchup? What makes this matchup between Nebraska and Indiana so intriguing?
So Indiana is a really good team. Their team is a veteran team, even though they're all new, right? And so it's a little bit interesting to look at this, and you look at their offense, like let's say, for example, all the skill position players are new to Indiana. They're all transfers in, all of them. There's one, I think Omar Cooper is the only one that's really been here. But then you look at their history, and it's like 30 games played, 40 games played. They were 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard backs. They have a ton of experience. And then this quarterback, Curtis Rourke, who fits into that model, Jesse, he's a guy that runs this RPO system really well. The most similar offense to what Indiana runs, Illinois. And so Nebraska's got a huge test in front of them because of the experience. So that's the matchup I want to see is Nebraska's defense. Can they put pressure on Rourke? Can they stop the run even without committing extra resources? I personally believe the most important Nebraska Cornhusker today is Ty Robinson.
Joel Klatt, appreciate your time. We'll see you back-to-back weeks. Have a great call with Gus up there.
That's right. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, Jess. Good to hear from Joel Klatt again. One of our favorites, does a terrific job, really puts in the homework and studies these teams. Time now for us to give you the Nebraska soybean starting lineups. Let's start with the Black Shirts, coming off a dominating performance last week against Rutgers up front. Joel just mentioned Ty Robinson, 4 sacks on the year, 9 in his Husker career. Nash Hutmaker, a couple of sacks this year, 7 in his Husker career. Maybe a healthier Jamari Butler has a sack, 6.5 in his career. The Jack is MJ Sherman, 2.5 sacks on the season for MJ. The linebackers, John Bullock, the leading tackler, 33 tackles on the year for the Big Red, had that pick 6 in the Purdue game in the first road game of the year. Mekhi Bear, the other linebacker, the Rovers, Isaac Gifford. The safeties will be Deshaun Singleton and Malcolm Hartzog. Malcolm with 2 picks so far in 2024. Tommy Hill with an INT for a touchdown. We think he's going to be playing today. Not sure he starts, but he should be back there a lot, along with Marquise Buford, who has an INT, and Sierra Wright, who has an INT and a sack for the USC transfer for Nebraska. Let's check out the Huskers on the offensive line. Gunnar Gatula at left tackle. Justin Evans, the left guard. Ben Scott, the anchor of the offensive line at center. Makai Mazuka will play some today, but Henry Lutovsky will get the start at right guard. The right tackle making his 48th start, Bryce Benhart. The tight end is Thomas Fedoni, 14 catches, but does not have a touchdown yet. So that changes today, maybe for 24. Dylan Raiola, the quarterback, completing 67% of his passes, 9 touchdowns, 3 INTs. Dante Dowdell, the running back, 334 yards rush, 5 touchdown scores. On the wide receiving core, Jamal Banks, leading catcher, 21 grabs, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Nair, 17 catches, 4 touchdowns. And Ja'Cory Barney, who was our Cornhusker conversation earlier today, he has 19 catches, 2 rushing touchdowns. For Ja'Cory, he has been electric for Nebraska as a true freshman. In fact, a midseason All-American true freshman. Folks, here's a Nebraska farm fact. Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum in many everyday products. Huskers and Hoosiers, the Indiana band, entertaining the crowd before the start of their homecoming game today. Beautiful temperatures in the low 60s, not much wind at all. It is absolutely perfect for a game. Back with some more pregame thoughts. We'll get the coin toss and kick this one off. Big Ten football today from Bloomington.
On the Huskers Radio Network.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
There's a hero in all of us. Pioneer is proud to partner with Nebraska and Iowa for the Pioneer Heroes Game. Together, we want to recognize and celebrate local heroes who exemplify the goal of positively impacting the community and who stand as an inspiration to others. If you have a family member or a community member you'd like to recognize, please nominate them at huskers.com/hero so we can celebrate the heroes in your community.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
They're out there, rare, mysterious, powerful, elusive, legendary.
Do you mean Bigfoot? No, the 8 red 2024 Ford F-150 XLT 4x4 Super Crew trucks people can win, playing $2 trucks and bucks from the Nebraska Lottery.
Why didn't you just say so?
I'm in acting school.
That tracks.
Trucks and Bucks top prize odds, 1 in 336,000. Ford F-150 is a registered trademark owned and licensed by Ford Motor Company.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine
Hi, welcome.
is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
Protect yourself. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. That's right, you can save time and get your COVID-19 and flu shot at the same time. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today. Or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
In the heartland, where ambition thrives, there are those who are made and those who are made for more. Just like the Huskers on game day, Kloss, a leading producer of ag equipment, unleashes the power of ambition in the field. Discover why our cutting-edge machinery and unwavering support aren't just a promise, they're a commitment to your success. Because at Kloss, we know you are made for more. Visit your Kloss dealer or CLAAS.com.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network. You're listening to the Pre-Kickoff Show, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery on the Huskers Radio Network.
Greg Shriver, Damon Penny, Jessica Cootie, Ben McLaughlin back inside the Auto Company's broadcast booth. Josh Hokeman, Russ Brown, Matt Cooney in the Acres Broadcast Center. Folks, you are listening to an exclusive broadcast of the Huskers Radio Network. The following may not be disseminated without expressed written consent. The Huskers Radio Network is a division of Playfly Sports. As Nebraska's fastest growing law firm, Smith Pauley is a proud partner of Nebraska Athletics for innovative legal services and concierge caliber responsiveness. Contact Smith Pauley. DB, this is a fascinating matchup. It's strength on strength. Indiana, the number 2 scoring offense in the country. Nebraska, the number 7 scoring defense. This really is a strength on strength type of matchup today. I love these kind of matchups.
Yeah, I do. And I like the fact that they've had a bye week too, so it's going to be all about who can make adjustments, at least right now as we're kind of going through the matchups. And this will be a little bit of a chess match early, at least in terms of making adjustments. I'm pretty excited to see how it plays out.
Well, they're pretty diverse. I mean, they'll throw the ball. They get their ground game going a little bit. What does Rourke do that's made him so well? I know he was a terrific player at Ohio, the MAC Player of the Year. What have you discerned watching Rourke, their quarterback, in your film breakdown?
Well, he's got really good poise in the pocket. I think that's the thing. He moves around well within the pocket. He can slide left, slide right, step up. Not really a scrambler. And he's taken pretty good care of the football. He's been the beneficiary of them being able to stay on schedule so far, so I'll be curious to see if Nebraska can get him off his mark.
Let's go to defense. Because of the eye-popping numbers that Indiana has put up on offense, people talk about their defense, but they've really been pretty solid in that phase of the game. What kind of defense are we looking at? Are they going to blitz, Dylan? What do you anticipate their plan being?
Well, they've got a really active front 7, so they will move around, but on the back end, they'll show you a little too high, and then they'll basically play a lot of 3-deep zone. Nebraska's been pretty good against the zone, so I kind of like that matchup there, and to see if Dylan can just play catch.
Well, Isaiah Nair has been a guy, DB, that's been a little quiet the last couple of weeks. He's that big play guy down the field. Got to think maybe they try to get 18 involved in the passing game more today.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think there's some plays to be had. A little smaller DBs, they're good.
Yeah.
And they're very sound, but they're a little undersized. I look for Nebraska to hopefully be able to make some hay.
Penalties have been one of those bugaboos for Nebraska. On the road against a quality team, you got to be sound in that phase of the game. We obviously know the special teams have been rocky at times for Nebraska. All these things, DB, add up in close games. Going to have to keep an eye on all that stuff here today.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to win on the road in this conference, you have to play pretty mistake-free football. Nebraska's got to play in such a way that gives them a chance to do so.
How about the way Cignetti has built this thing, DB? They only have 36 scholarship guys back. He hit the portal hard. I think he felt like he had to. I love how Matt Rule has attacked the job here in Lincoln the last 2 years. But what about the decision to really load up on the transfers like Indiana has done?
Yeah, I think the way that you offset that is to come with continuity in the staff, and so everybody's on the same page with that. And bringing over his staff as he did from JMU, I think it's allowed them to transition, even though they've had so many new faces on campus here in Bloomington.
Coach Rural, DB does not like talking about fast starts, but I kind of feel like we need one today. Indiana has not given up a point in the first quarter. I think this is a team you want to jump on early, like we did against Colorado at home in week 2. I think a fast start today, and Coach will probably get after me afterwards, but I think it's big to get off to a lead, put them behind.
Yeah, at least test their mettle a little bit. They've been able to kind of enjoy the catbird seat, so I'm with you there. At least make them uncomfortable for a little while.
Yeah. All right, Huskers, and this will be the 23rd matchup all-time between Nebraska and Indiana. Indiana actually leads the series 10-9, 3 ties. The last time they played, Nebraska did win in 2022, 35-21. The last time we played in Bloomington was 2016. Nebraska prevailed in that one, 27-22 in this game. Husker defense has not allowed a rushing touchdown all year. That could get tested today. Indiana will mix in the run game. Which of their backs do you like? Lawton's put up some decent numbers. Justice Ellis, the leading rusher, he's a Wake Forest transfer. How about their running back game?
They're kind of all similar, but if I had to go with a guy that kind of suits my eye, it's probably Ellison. They are, like I said, they have a lot of the same characteristics. Ellison is probably the guy that presents the biggest home run threat.
I heard you and DB talking in Husker game day. You think the front group for Nebraska is a real key. Big game. We need big games out of Ty and Nash and Jamari, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping their depth can play a role in this one, especially with how they like to just substitute and come in waves. And Indiana's offensive line has been untested up front. Like I said, they've been allowed to kind of stay on schedule. And the dirty little secret here, Sharpie, Indiana has been a little feast or famine in the run game. They have a lot of 0, 1, 2-yard runs as much as they have 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see if we can't keep them behind the sticks.
Both teams have charged out of the field. What a scene. Beautiful day. Sellout crowd. Fans have filled in here in the last 5 or 6 minutes, got out of their tailgates and made their way on inside of Memorial Stadium. Let's check out our Lindsay view from the field. DB, as you look out over this one, this is, I know, your first game to be called in Bloomington. What do you see?
I love the stark contrast in the red and whites. I guess you'd go with a little closer to maroon for IU. I love the all whites. Everybody has their jokes and trepidations. That's for fans to think. Players don't really care. Fighting road whites. Let's go get it.
Back by popular demand, fall savings deals from Lindsay. And this year, $1,200 per tower rebates are only the beginning. Learn more at lindsay.com/farm ready. Captains headed to the middle of the field. Let's go down there as well. Here's Jessica Cootie.
Captains for the Hoosiers, Justice Ellison, Mike Katic, and James Carpenter. For the Huskers game day captains, Henry Lutoski, Ty Robinson, Tommy Hill, and Heinrich Harburg will be the speaking captain you'll hear here today. Mark Klozinski is the referee. Let's turn things over to him.
Head. Eagle is tails. Nebraska, you're the visitor. You want heads or tails? Heads. You called heads. It is a head. Nebraska wins the toss. Defer. Nebraska wins the toss.
All right, Greg, Nebraska wins the toss. They'll defer to the second half. Indiana's going to get the ball first.
Any wind at all down on that field?
None. It is absolutely gorgeous down here. No wind. Not going to be a factor today.
Beautiful. Love to hear that. 64 degrees at kickoff. Hardly any breeze at all in Bloomington. DB, these are the ones that fire you up. The later you get into seasons, you want games that mean a lot. Today certainly does mean a lot.
Absolutely, and right, it's a little bit of a litmus test. Let's see where we're at. I think Indiana has as many questions as Nebraska does. It's just being in the friendly confines. They may not have to answer those questions as fast.
Oh, this is going to be fun. The all-whites for the Huskers on the uniforms today. Indiana going with their crimson tops, white pants. Huskers have not worn the all-whites, DB, in about 8 years. What do you make of the? Did you wear all-whites at all in your career?
Tell you what here, Sharpie, you just look out here and you take a look at this. It's a very fervent fan base. If it's a sellout, they're probably still filling in, but there are a lot of bodies here in Bloomington.
A lot of folks ready to go. How about the all-whites? Did you wear all-whites as a player at Nebraska?
I didn't. So the year I got there was the infamous 1992 against Iowa State. I was a redshirt freshman, and I remember them coming back from that day in Ames, and it was not good, and that was on the heels of what had happened in the Citrus Bowl the year before.
So that kind of probably changed Coach Osborne's thought process about the right? I'm just guessing there a little bit.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
You would be correct.
All right, Huskers defer. You surprised at all by not taking the ball out of the gate? We'll put the black shirts out there. What do you think of the decision?
I think he's playing to his strengths. I think he likes to defer anyway if wind isn't an issue and put his best unit on the field first and see where they're at on the road.
All right, so Huskers headed out, moving from right to left as we view it today. Glad you're with us here on the Huskers Radio Network, or if you're listening to us online or on the Huskers app. Big time Big Ten football. 6-0 Indiana, 5-1 Nebraska. Both teams ranked 18 in the coaches poll for IU. Huskers at number 25. This is going to be fun here today.